99, 100.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Today, for the what, why, how, we're going to be talking about curls, but specifically, we're going to be talking about a special kind of curl called the Zottman curl. Now, first thing we got to talk about is, are curls good for golfers? Because many times you'll hear that golfers shouldn't be working on their arms, and I would primarily agree with that statement, but I do find that there's a time, a place, and a reason why one might do some arm strengthening for a golfer. And today we're going to talk about a specific exercise called the Zottman curls, which is a little bit of a different twist on the curls, no pun intended. But the reason most people would say that you probably shouldn't do a lot of curls in your training program for golf is it's such a single, isolated movement. So really, when you're doing a curl, you're primarily working your bicep. You know, the bicep truly really crosses the elbow and the shoulder, but for the most part, you're simply working on this motion here, which really isn't something that you need a whole lot in your golf swing. In particular, need a whole lot of strength, you know, where you're doing 40-pound curls or anything like that. But the reason that I do on occasion throw some curls into a golfer's program is because you're never working just one muscle at a time. So when you're doing a curl, you're not just hitting the bicep, you're also going to be hitting the forearm, you're going to be hitting the hand strength, the grip strength, the wrists. So there's definitely reasons why you would put it into a program. I tend to put them at the end of a workout. If it's a total body workout, we're going to be doing some strengthening. We'll do those isolated motions a little bit towards the end. But a Zottman curl, let me demonstrate that for you, is going to hit some different motions than just your traditional up and down here. So you're going to take the dumbbell, you're going to stand with them at your side with your palms facing forward, and this is what we would call a supinated position. This here would be more of a pronated position, and this would be more of a hammer grip or parallel position. So you'll tend to see, you know, people doing curls like this in the supinated position very often. You'll see them do it with dumbbells, barbells, easy curl bars. You'll also see people doing hammer grip curls like this, and this targets the arms a little bit differently than just your supinated curl. And then also you'll sometimes see people doing kind of a pronated curl with an easy bar or even the barbell. So there's all different ways that you can do this. But the reason I like the Zottman curl is because it hits a little bit of all of it. So you're going to start out in that same position. You're going to curl all the way up, keeping your elbows right in line with your side. But then at the top, you're going to rotate the forearms, and then you're going to come down in more of a pronated position. Now, the reason I like this is because it's targeting a lot of different things. Here, I'm working on the biceps specifically, but you'll notice I'm also working on my posture. I'm working on what my arms are doing. I'm feeling this not just in my bicep, not even just in my forearms. I'm also feeling this in my shoulders, my shoulder blades, my lats, because I'm pulling my arm down into that position. As I come up, I'm maintaining that position, so I'm not bringing that elbow forward. I'm also not bringing that elbow back. So I'm coming straight up. I'm getting a nice, good rotation, nice and controlled, and then I'm working on keeping a good wrist position as I work my way down to the bottom of that curl. And then I'm going to rotate that back to the supinated position. So again, it's coming straight up. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to come all the way back down. Now, you'll notice I've only got 10-pound weights here. I mean, normally I do curls with probably, 50s, 60s, no big deal. But for these, I want you to start light. I want you to start where you can control that weight, and you can really work on the position of the hand, the grip strength, work on the motion of that. So when you're doing it with both of them, you want to see that both hands are rotating to about the same position. If you notice that there's a big discrepancy there, then that's something we got to work on. We got to even those things out. Now, you can do this in a standing position. I also have some of my clients, and I do these myself, will do these in a seated position where, again, I'm working on that nice, tall posture. I'm actually tightening up my abs getting in a nice, good position here. Same thing, you're going to come up, elbows stay right at your side. You're going to rotate the hands, and then you're going to drop them all the way back down. So we're going up, rotate, all the way back down. And I'm going to show you one more variation here, and that's elevating the bench a little bit, 45 to 60 degrees or so. And this is just going to change the angle a little bit. So again, it's all about hitting your muscles from different angles, hitting your body with different stresses. So when you are in your backswing, or you're hitting out of the rough, or you're doing all these different things, your body has had stress from all these different angles, and that way you can adapt and you're less likely to get injured. So we're going to take the weights. Same thing, I'm going to have you lean all the way back. Just rest your head. Again, nice tall posture, stomach's nice and tight. And then you're just going to curl all the way up, turn the palms over, let them drop all the way back down. All the way up, turn those palms over, all the way back down. So there is a place in time to put curls into your program. And again, we're not just working the guns here, we're working the forearms, we're working the wrists, we're working all of that stuff. If you think about, a guy like Paul Casey, you see the size of his forearms, you see him hit out of the rough, you can tell that he's put the time and effort into building up his grip strength, so he has a lot more control over that club. If you watched any of the Ryder Cup a couple weeks ago, the rough that those guys were hitting out of was nasty. And the way that they would swing at that club, most of us would hurt our wrists, we'd hurt our arms, we'd hurt our shoulders. But because they've done the work and really, they've hit thousands and thousands of balls out of those conditions, but because they're strong enough to hold on to that club without a death grip on it, but still fight through that rough, is really the reason why they're able to do that and not get injured. So again, for our what, why, how this week is the Zottman Curl. Throw that into your program every now and then. You don't have to do curls all the time. It's not always about working on the guns here at 18 Strong, but it's definitely a little bit different advice than you may hear from a lot of the other golf fitness professionals out there. So throw those in, start working on the entire chain, the upper body, the shoulders, the back, the biceps, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, all that stuff. You're going to be in much, much better shape. All right, stay tuned to our 18 Strong YouTube channel here for another What, Why, How next week. And don't forget to go to the podcast and subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're watching or listening to the podcast. We'd love to have you over there. And we've got a lot of great interviews, a lot of great guests. So train hard, practice smart, play better golf.